right. Well, good morning, everyone, church. Sweet. Well, listen, I'm so excited for today. Like we've talked about, it's Breakthrough Sunday. And we've got an incredible panel here today that we're just going to encourage you guys and just have a conversation about what camp is and what that means. But before we do that, I want to give you an idea on what Breakthrough Camp means. What is it? Breakthrough Camp is something that I know for me personally and for our pastors, we cherish it so much. We've seen so much fruit, so much seed planted, and so many God miracles take place through camp. So many individuals who are here this morning serving wholeheartedly without hesitation because of the impact that camp has had on people. And so I just want you guys to know, as we kind of have this conversation, just lean in, listen in to what God is doing at camp, because it's going to give you a better insight. It's going to give you a better idea of what God really is doing up there. Because the reality of it is, camp is camp. And almost like, the phrase, what happens at camp stays at camp, right? Or like, it's just this thing where you can't bring camp anywhere else outside of where it is. The experiences, the impact, what takes place there, the best we can do is come here on a Sunday morning and try our best to illuminate that for you and give you a picture of what God is doing. And outside of that, the most beautiful impact of all is when your kids come home changed, when your kids come home consecrated for Jesus, set apart for them. And so I hope you guys lean in and really hear the heart of what happens at camp to the best that we can give you. So what I have here today, we've got Lexi Blair, who is one of our incredible youth leaders. We have Brenna Hamlin, an awesome senior from Edgesville High School. We have Jordan Canby, another one of our great youth leaders. And then we have Kaylee Ruiz, a senior from Martinsburg. She just graduated, and she's a firecracker. But we are excited to have this conversation and do our best to give you an idea on what camp means and what that looks like. So let's jump right into this, right? So we're going to just start from that side, Lex, and come on over towards Kaylee. But how many years have you gone to camp? And then can you give us a lasting memory from camp?
Yeah, so I've been going to camp ever since 2012. So if you can do the math, it's been quite some years that I've gone to Breakthrough Camp, many years as a student until I graduated and then became a youth leader because, God just impacted my life so much that I didn't want to just keep it to myself. I wanted the next generation to have that fruit as well. So then once I graduated, like I said, I became a youth leader. And I feel like a lasting memory for me, honestly, was one of the first cabins that I had. We used to be in what was called the homestead, which was like the basement of a house, which it was like, I think it was me and Emmy, and we had like 20 girls just about, and we were in this basement at the campgrounds. And I just remember feeling this overwhelming sense of gratitude, but also this weight of, God, this is the next generation rising up, and I have the power to influence where they go after this, who they talk to, the things that they get into. So it's just, there's such a weight to it, but I feel like to pick one memory, that would be like the moment, Breakthrough Camp is the launching pad to create the next generation of leaders. So for me, in that moment, it was, wow, Breakthrough Camp was preparing me for this, preparing me for that next stage of life. So I think that was a moment that really stuck with me and reminded me of the impact that I was carrying after I was a student and now a leader.
That's awesome, Lex.
Okay, so I just experienced Breakthrough Camp just last year. It was my first time going. It was actually Lexi and Kaylee. They were the ones convincing me that you had to go to this. It's life-changing, like you won't regret it. So, and it was absolutely life-changing. I met some of the sweetest people there, grew some of the greatest bonds that I will cherish forever. But if I had to choose a favorite memory, I would say it was probably like the last day, and it was a service where it's a gym full of like thousands of people. There were so many people. And at the very end, we just take a moment to pray for one another. And the camp is so big, there's so many people there. But in that moment, people that I had never spoken to in my entire life were simply just praying over me. They were praying over people around them. And before this, I feel like I hadn't gone to church as much, so a part of me felt a sense of guilt, like, was I even worth being here? Is it my purpose to be here? But to see so many people come and support me and love me and say, you are meant to be here, I feel like that was one of the first times I felt the Lord's presence, and it was overwhelming. It was so beautiful, and it truly felt like home, so it was
It's awesome, Brenda. And I think another cool thing, Brenda, is like that was your first year, and last year your brother came.
Yes.
Right? And now this year, 2 of your siblings are going to be coming to camp.
All 3.
So how cool is that, right? That experience, that testimony. I'm stoked. So awesome. Jordan.
Yeah, so I had the blessing, I started coming to Breakthrough Camp in 2019, so that was my freshman year of high school. Through middle school, I guess I was scared. I didn't know too many people that were going at that time, but I remember in 2019, my best friend Brady, and I was like, hey, we're gonna go to this thing, and I ended up inviting him, and we ended up going together, and it was an amazing experience, and it was a life-changing moment, and just to be in an environment like that, where it's just you and God, and there's no phone, because the phone is one of the biggest things that divides us from God, and that's just the real of it. So to be in an environment like that, where it's just you and God and you're making real relationships and real connections is truly what it's all about. But as far as like one of my favorite moments from camp, kind of just piggybacking off of what Brenda said, is just that last night. And I remember my first experience in 2019 and that last night, and it's just prayer, it's worship. And I remember so vividly one of those moments where we're worshiping and like the instruments are off and it's just us like crying out to God and truly surrendering to God. And the presence of God was so strong, even at such a young age, from middle school to high school, that it's so strong and you just feel it. And it's so overwhelming, like Brenda said. That's the perfect word to use. It's overwhelming, it's strong, and you want everybody to experience that. So that's definitely one of the top tier moments that I got to experience.
Very cool, Jordan. Love it, man. It's good.
So I've been to Breakthrough Camp 3 years now. Breakthrough Camp was actually one of the first things that I experienced with Airborne Church that wasn't a Sunday morning service. And it was how I first got connected to a lot of the youth leaders. It's really hard for me to pick like a moment that like really like stood out to me. I mean, overall, like the atmosphere is amazing. I'm what some might say or call a tree hugger. So the whole setting and atmosphere there is just like, it's so pretty. And like to be able to experience God's presence and his creation, like it's a different level of like, you get a different level of appreciation for the Lord. But I think honestly for me, like being somebody that will just literally go up to anybody or beg people to come to camp, like having that moment, like watch somebody that I love and care about, like literally watching in her face, like watching like it click, like, hey, like there's a reason why this person like begged me to come. Like there is a real God out there who loves me. Like I'm here to encounter his presence and he wants me to. Like watching Breakthrough Camp change the people that I care about, like their lives, and watching their eternity like change, like the destiny of that change and just be secured, like that is so rewarding. And it's like every year, like there's always at least one person that I like convince to come. Like that's always a goal for me. And to know that like, you know, like watching that not only happen at camp, but watching it change the way that they're walking in their life, change the way that they're interacting and the things that they have influence over, like watching that happen and watching that shift, knowing that there's going to be influence to impact other people's eternities. Like that's my favorite thing at camp, because like, of course it's an experience, but truly like it sets these children and these youth and these disciples up for success and whatever they go. Because like when you like experience and encounter the Holy Spirit, it's not just like something that happens to you, it's something that changes the way that you walk in your life.
So good, Kaylee. And yeah, 100%. And I think it's pretty cool because like this is an awesome example of it. But to have you guys up here, like Kaylee and Brenna, and just how you were consistently in her ear. You gotta go, you gotta go. Can I tell you, there's so many cases of that where someone's like, I kind of want to go, but I don't know. And I can tell you right now, you never regret going. Like, you never regret going. If in fact, you will regret not going when you no longer can go.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I don't know. There's no other way to put that. Like, when the time has come and you no longer can go, you'll think, man, I wish I would have gone. Yeah, it's just legit, man. I'm telling you right now. So that's so good. So what we got next is this. Oh, I should do me real quick with that. I've been going to camp for a long time. I've been going to camp since 2000. I'm going to do what Lexi did. I've been going to camp since 2010. That was my first one as a student. And there's been and I was one of those people, right? I was like a sports person, always had different things going on, whether it was football or wrestling. But, for me, it was so important to go because I felt God telling me I needed to go. And if you're sitting in the room, you're thinking to yourself, well, how do I know if God's telling you? You do know. Yeah. Like, if you have any inkling of wanting to go, that's God. Yep. Just, there you go, easy answer. Because I recognize that, and it's a sacrifice sometimes to go. As a student, it's a sacrifice to go because you might have other things on your agenda. And as a parent, it's a sacrifice to have your kid go because there is some financial cost that comes into play. But I promise you, you will not regret investing into your kid to go. Yeah. And so for me, that was a thing that I did. And it was an amazing year. And there's so many, I'm like with you, Lexi, there's so many things we can think of, right, that we've gone to. But one thing that I'll answer for today is that very first camp, we had a night of worship, and anyone that was a student when I was a student in the room will know what I'm talking about. But we had a moment where we were in worship for hours. And I kid you not, we repeated this song over and over and over again, even to the point where I don't think Nikki was on team at the time. It's cool, he leads all the time now. But he even had this angelic voice from the crowd at some point where it's like, who's doing that? Now, granted, that was definitely a God thing. So I know that might encourage some students to say, I'm going to do that this year. No, if it's spirit-led, awesome, but let's just be mindful of that. That was definitely a God thing. I can already hear it, But it was one of those lasting memories that I'll never forget. That moment. I know Josh was leading and Whitney, we were leading that night, and it was just a cool moment and a cool experience. So that was powerful. Next one is this. This is a cool one. What's your favorite tribe memory from camp? Favorite tribe memory?
Oh my goodness!
I got a good and a bad one.
Well, you go first since you're ready to go. I want to hear what's on your mind.
All right, fine.
Come on,
I'll go first.
Tell us.
All right. So for me is I don't know. All right. Well, I'm already there. I do this thing all the time where I'll start to say something and then I stop and people can't stand it, and I'm doing it on purpose. But I'm gonna just tell you. So yeah, we had this one tribal war that we did. I'm gonna keep it a little like this. It was intense. We called it Repidum's Peak. Enough said, okay? Somebody like, what does that mean? I don't necessarily know, but it was insane. And we created this awesome tribal war thing to where we built this pyramid type thing with some beams, and kids had to go just climb up and win a battle, and it was quite a battle. And that's all I'm gonna say about my awesome favorite tribe memory. It was intense, and then we had to go to doing more relay races.
Yes, well, I can piggyback off of that. In one of the more recent years, we did a whole set of different challenges and trials, and we called it Nintendo Wars.
Yeah.
Because we did tribe, was it Koopa Troopa? And then the other one was, I think, Super Mario Bros. But it was so fun because everything was themed for Nintendo Wars. And that was one of my favorite years to date. But we had them doing all sorts of things between swimming out to the inflatables on the lake, coming back. James, he created this
James is our game master.
Cool board where there was a ball going through a maze and you had to work together to get it through the maze, but it's just all these incredible things. The energy and the intensity of it, I'm telling you, the kids are out in the morning putting paint hand marks on their face, on their arms, their eye black. They're getting ready. They're intense. They're ready for tribal war. And I love every year the intensity and the fun they bring to that. But every year is different, and we've got a really fun 2 tribes this year, and we're really excited to announce it.
That's gonna be good.
It's going to be great, but it creates lasting memories for your kids. And I'm telling you, they are always begging. They're like, what's the tribe this year? What's the tribe? But we always like to keep it a surprise until we get to camp and we do this big reveal. And it's just so much fun. We just love it.
Yeah, and kind of piggybacking, whatever that word is. I think the thing about that is like, regardless of like what game we're playing, there's a spirit of unity that rests within that. And I think that that's my favorite part, because every year you're on different teams with different people. You could be working with people you've never met before, but like just to know that like we're all people coming from different backgrounds and we're all there for the same purpose. It's like whether we're playing to win a game or not, like there's also that same kind of spirit and ability when you're talking about like building the kingdom. You know, different people, different backgrounds working towards the same purpose. Like regardless of, you know, a height difference or an age difference or whatever it may be, like knowing that we're all called by the same person, knowing that we're all loved by the same person, and we get to work together for this one thing.
Yes, and that's, I'm thinking this too, because as we're going, it's so good, but I'm like, let me give you some context to Tribal Wars. People are like, what is that? So Tribal Wars is this awesome thing. It's this competitive, fun edge that we add to camp where the first night, like Lex was saying, we have 2 tribes and they're all separated by a cabin, and then they have like friendly, fun competition on seeing who's gonna be the 2025 Tribal War champs. And so it's just this cool element that we like to add to camp that just brings a fun, competitive nature to it. So one more, let's do one more, Jordan, and then we're going to jump to the next question. Why don't you give us an answer for your favorite Tribal War?
Yeah, so we went to Watermarks for a long while, and then we ended up, I think it was 2021 when we went to the place in Virginia, and we had a dodgeball game, and basically this decided, Braden told this story last year, but it's literally, it's undefeated. So it's a dodgeball game, and I think it was like 2-2. So the way they set it up is like, it'll be middle school girls against middle school girls, high school girls against high school girls, and vice versa with the guys. And so I think it was like 2-2. And so the last one, they like split it up. And I remember, let's say it's like an 8v8, and I got Caleb Long on my team, and I mean, we're just dropping like flies, like boom, boom, boom. I'm like, man, like, I look at Caleb, I'm like, we're out of luck, bro. I don't know what to do. And I think it gets down to like a 3v8, and then all of a sudden, like, Caleb just gives me this look in his eyes. I'm like, oh, we gonna go get him.
Caleb Long, by the way.
So best believe we go and get him. So we start throwing these things, we start getting them, and it ends up being a 2v1. So it's me and Caleb versus Braden. So it's like, Caleb's right here, I'm right here, Braden's in the middle on the other side, and we're just looking at him like, brother, you going down. I don't know what else to tell you, brother, but like, we're getting this thing. Now keep in mind too, I've never won a tribal war before. And when you win tribal wars, like you can walk around like, yeah, I won tribal wars.
I'm him.
Yeah, like I'm him and I know I'm him. So me and Caleb, we're looking at Braden, we're like on 3, like 1, 2, 3. And we throw that thing, we get him, everybody starts going crazy. And I'm definitely gonna tell my kids about that story.
Oh yeah. If you were a tribal war champ in the room, you will tell your generations and generations to come.
Absolutely.
Because it's a big Airborne Church. It's a big deal. It's a big deal.
It is.
So some of you are like, you know what? I don't know if I'm going to camp, but I'm going to come just to be a tribal champ. Yes, do that. That's fine. And then Jesus will just
Mario,
take over.
I just want to all of this conversation just puts on my heart to encourage any of the parents in the room. I shared a little bit of this during our advance this morning with all of the leaders, but something I get as a youth leader from parents is like, they're like, oh, like I hear how great Breakthrough Camp is. I wish I could be a fly on the wall to see what happens and what goes on at Breakthrough, because I don't know what it is, but when those kids come back, there's something different. And we tell all these stories and we give all these experiences, but if you're not there, it's true. When you're in the room, it's different. It's different, but just to name a few things, and I wrote them down so that I could accurately describe it, but this time away for students not only is a time for fun and friendship, it's a place where they find their calling. And for the first time, they might hear the voice of the Holy Spirit speaking to them, whether it's through the worship, through the messages, through these cabin afterthoughts where we all talk to each other. They might find an ear to listen to them. Maybe they're going through things in their life back at home and they don't feel like they have a mentor to talk to or reach out to. We have all of our amazing youth leaders who are ready and excited to talk to them. And Breakthrough, most importantly, it's the launching pad for God dreams. It's a battleground for generational curses to be broken. And it's a safe haven for those who are surrounded by chaos in their lives back at home. So if you're wondering, oh, should my child go to Breakthrough Camp? Just think of all those things. Do you want that for your child?
Come on.
Do you want them to experience breaking chains that they never even knew that they had?
Come on.
And when they come back, I can promise you, that your family's gonna be different. Maybe you've been praying, God, I just need something to move in my family. Send your kids to Breakthrough Camp. You're gonna see them come back and it's gonna change the dynamic. It's gonna change the atmosphere in your family. And I can promise you, you're not gonna regret sending them. I can promise you that much.
So good, Lexi. I love that. And now, like a question for the three of you in the middle. We'll start with Brenna and then we'll come over. But Brenna, how has Breakthrough Camp impacted your life?
I feel like Breakthrough Camp was definitely the eye-opener for me, especially like with my journey through Christ. I feel like I had been to church before many times, but I never felt that connection with God. And I wondered if it was me or something I was doing wrong. But being surrounded by such amazing people, they challenge you every single day to become the better version of yourself. You're surrounded with friendships that will last throughout your life. Like, I'm so grateful for the people I met at camp. And after Breakthrough, especially that last night, that was the game changer for me. Being able to pray with others and praying over people, which is something I've never had the confidence to do before, but it spoke to me like, this is my calling. I love helping people. I want to help people. I want them to feel that connection with God like I did, because it truly is a breakthrough, okay? Yeah. It's beautiful, and I want people to feel like I felt that night. If they feel low on themselves, if they don't feel worthy, you are worthy of God's love, no matter who you are. So I want to feel that love for everybody else. So good, Brenna.
Yeah, I would definitely say one of the biggest things that Breakthrough has taught me and what it allowed me to do was to really be open and vulnerable with God. I remember one of the first cabin afterthoughts, and you're with a couple guys that you've never seen before or talked to before, but just to be in an environment like that and be open and be in a safe place to talk about your issues. And I know a lot of times too, like, it's very human nature to try to handle things on our own, but when you realize that it's in God's hands, that it's taken care of, and there's faith and there's trust in that, there's so much peace that comes with that it's insane. So just to be able to truly lean on that and lean on my leaders at the time, James Collis was one of the most amazing leaders that I got to, shout out James. He was really a big mentor in my life because it was just a safe spot. I was able to talk about things that I'm going through, things that guys go through that they don't like talking about, and that's just the real. So just to be in that environment and to talk about it and just feel that overwhelming peace that truly you can only find from God. You're not going to find it from the world and what the world tries to say is okay, but what God says okay, that's fulfilling, and that's where real peace is found.
So good.
Yeah, I think for me, like, the life-changing thing was to be able to shut the world off, to go in an area where, you're in God's creation and you're experiencing his presence. And I mean, I put my phone away. Like, it basically doesn't work anyway, but I put it away on purpose, because to separate yourself from the world and say, okay, this is what can happen if in my daily life I take a couple minutes, put this away, and spend a couple extra minutes with the Lord. And I think the thing for me that really made this shift was, when I first came to Airborne, there was a leader that had gotten in contact with me and was like, hey, have you thought about camp? And I like what Mario said. Mario called it an investment, and it is. The last 2 years I've sent myself to camp. And so I think understanding the sacrifice that it makes, but understanding that it's worth it, because I came here with a lot of church hurt. I had experienced a lot of other things with a lot of other leaders in my life that valued gifts that I had over the way that the Lord would value me. And so being able to sit down with leaders who invest in their students, who want to spend time with them, who want to pray over them, who want to get to know them. And I genuinely, the leaders that we have here are unlike leaders I've seen anywhere else. I can wholeheartedly say that. Their prayer life, the way that they're in the word. I have never gone to a leader and not gotten scripturally backed advice. So genuinely, these are leaders that are going to take care of your kids. They're leaders that are going to take care of you. And something that I struggled with so long, I loved the Lord. I loved loving other people, but I struggled letting the Lord love me and letting leaders pray over me. And so I think that was the life-changing thing for me. Being somebody that people viewed as a leader, being able to lean on other people and letting myself experience things and go through things.
So good, Kaylee. I love it. You guys, to close up the conversation that we're having, in 30 seconds or less, we'll start from Lexi and come over to me. In 30 seconds or less, what would you say to someone that was on the fence about camp?
There's an urgency about sending your kid to camp. It's not just this cute, fun little vacation that they get to take away. It's the difference between salvation or not. So there's a huge weight. And I know there might be a heaviness when I say that, but there is. There might be a student in your life who's never experienced the power of Jesus in their life, and Breakthrough Camp might be that start and that launching pad that they need to kickstart them on the journey that God has for them. So if you're wondering, oh, like the finances, oh, the time, oh, it interferes, find a way. Find a way to get your child there. Find a way to get your grandchild there, because it is worth it. That child is worth it, and God sees them, and God wants to send them off into all the things that they are called to be.
Yeah.
I feel like one of my biggest things is that if you're uncertain in your relationship with God, go to camp. If you want to surround yourself and find people that are going to push you to the greatest you can be, go to camp. If you want to connect with people that share the same struggles and make an impact in someone's life, go to camp. If you if you're really competitive and you like kicking people's butt in games, go to camp. Show up, show out, and make an impact to the people around you. Go to camp. I'm telling you right now, it will not be a mistake. It will change your life for the better, because I know it definitely changed mine.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, Brenna, drop that mic real quick. No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding, Alan. I'm joking, Alan. No. Well, she did. There you go, Alan.
It's okay.
That's good.
Barnacles, I shouldn't have said anything.
A couple dollars this year.
That's good.
It's all right, we're fine. Just send your kids to camp. It's fun. That was awesome. Okay. I love it, dude.
Yeah, I would definitely say very simple, let go and let God. It's so easy to get caught up in comfort zones, and you're scared and you think you don't have the strength to go or the courage to go. But when you truly seek God, because he's always actively seeking you, but when you seek him, he will give you those two things that you're seeking for, the strength and the courage. So I encourage you just to take that leap of faith. Truly trust God. If you've never trusted God before, try now. Try now. Watch what God will do when you open up your heart and watch him work in your life and truly shine a light. Ball game.
Yeah, so good.
I would say that if you're experiencing fear or anxiety when it comes to the thought of going to camp, whether that's I'm not going to have people to hang out with, I don't know who's going to be there, like I don't really know these leaders, I'm going to tell you right now, that's the enemy trying to hold you back from what God has in store for you. This is a camp that leaders and pastors pray over and pray over and pray over. They really, they clear the way, they set the tone. Like, the Lord is always in camp. I've never, again, like everybody said, I've never met anybody that's regretted going to Breakthrough Camp. So seriously, if there's thoughts in your mind about okay, maybe I'm not good enough, maybe I'm not gonna have people to hang out with, that's because the enemy wants to keep you from what God has for you, and don't let him win before you even get your chance to get your breakthrough.
So good. I love it, man. And for my 30 seconds, I'm just gonna direct it towards moms, dads, and grandparents. Listen, invest into your kids. Invest into your grandchildren. This will last forever. You might think to yourself, and I get it, trust me, resources, I understand what that's like, all right? And you might think, oh, well, 265, I don't know if I can do that. For the eternity of your child, are you listen, there's so much more I would do for Micah and Eliana, who will be here in 2 weeks, by the way. So it's there's so much that I would do for those kids. And so don't let a particular circumstance prevent you from sending your kid to reach a God who loves them, knows them by name, and will do everything and anything for them, even for when the time comes that you go to heaven yourself. He will always be there looking out after your kids. And this investment, this dollar that you're pouring into your kids, and honestly, there's so much more that goes into it. That helps us cover their food, a roof over their head. I promise you, in the grand scheme of things, it is just but a mere vapor in the wind in comparison to the eternal gift that your kids and your student will receive. I promise you that. Invest into your children, into your grandchildren, your nieces, your nephews. You'll never regret that decision.